Welcome everyone, here I am to talk to you about the new moon in Aquarius, which is going to take place on the 4th of February, European time. And it's going to be a very important moon because I call it the watershed, because it represents a watershed between the past and the future. Many astrologers describe this new moon as a very positive one. They call it the new moon of hope and goodwill. So it's one of the most fortunate moons that we're going to experience this year, because in a way it sets up or it plants a very important seed, the seed of the future. So before we go ahead, I would like to inform you that our CD, and then the CD International Initiation School has just created, has been published, and we receive it. It's called In This Starry Place, and it's a CD where we work with, we put into sound the vibration of the Hebrew letters. The Hebrew letters are said to have a similar shape than the 22 amino acids of our DNA. So when we work with the Hebrew letters, with the sound associated with the vibration associated with the Hebrew letters, we really worked in order to activate what in the ancient teaching used to be defined as the light body, our body of light. Just to say that the 22 Hebrew letters are each 3 Hebrew letters are part of the 72 angels. So also this CD is very useful to work with the triplets that create a part of our angel names, give the shape, the form to our angel name. So it's a very important CD. So if you would like to purchase it, you can contact the secretary, the school office of International Initiation School, and we were able to post it to you wherever you are. There is also meditation in English, so you can work with the Hebrew letter also with this meditation. Just to go ahead, I would like to talk about the numerology of the day of the new moon. It's a new moon in Aquarius, so Aquarius is a sign of change, is a sign of new beginning, is a sign of following the vision and service to the vision and mission of the soul. So we are in a watershed, a very important watershed, and the numerology of the day also described this as in that way. So in Europe, we will have the full moon on the 4th of the 2nd, 2019. Number 4 is, in the Hebrew letter, is associated to the letter Dalet. Dalet means door, Dalet means poor man. And the shape of the Dalet is the shape of a man who is bending. And this letter talks about the importance of acknowledging the fact that nothing happens in life unless it is supported by God's will. So it says that 4 is a number of responsibility, building foundation, and it says that if we feel that we have to do everything by ourselves, we are poor in consciousness, we are poor in the heart. We don't carry the weight of things only on our shoulder, but we are co-creators with the Creator. In the Bible, 4 is associated to the 4th day of creation. On the 4th day, God did set everything, all things in order. He completed the material universe. On that day, he brought into existence the sun, the moon, the stars, in order to give off light and divide day and night on earth. So 4 is a number that is associated in the Bible to the basic demarcation of time. It's also the original word, which is moed in Hebrew, can be literally translated into appointed times or divine appointments. So on this day we have an appointment. We have it represents the day of a divine appointment, and it's the day between that sets the watershed between the past and the future. 4 is also associated to the 4 elements, the 4 seasons, and the 4 beasts in the 4 Gospels, associated to, which we can see also in card 21. You see, we have Taurus, we have Leo, we have Aquarius, and we have the eagle is actually Scorpio. Scorpio has to transform from Scorpio into an eagle, and then into a phoenix. So it talks about the total transformation of man into something completely new. So the 4 Gospels are this Gospel of Mark, which is associated to Leo and fire, which is a gospel of action. The Gospel of Luke, which is associated to the bull and earth, and is associated to prayer. The Gospel of John, which is associated to the angel and air, and is representative of the sword of spirit. And the Gospel of Matthew, which is water and is mind through the battle. So the tarot card 21 corresponds corresponds to 400 and is associated to the letter Tav, which is the seal of creation. So what this card says is, if you trust the illusion of matter, you become its prey. So it's a great time of understanding that the illusion of the mind, the glamour, don't take us anywhere. But we really have to understand that only if we trust our heart, we can give birth to something new. In numerology, in the ancient teaching, sacred text, 4 comes from the addition of number 3. You know, we have 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 is the addition of 3 and 1. So we can see 4 as a 31-4. And if you look at the previous moon that we had, it happened on the 21st of the 1st, which can be read as 31. So 31 is the number of fulfillment of God's plan. Is something is about to be manifested, which something that has been going on for quite a while. And if you look, go back and watch my previous video, you can see that I've been talking about the preparation of a shift, the preparation of a change. 4 also is the Passover Seder. The Passover Seder is a Jewish holiday. Is the beginning of the Passover Seder. And it talks about the Passover is about the liberation of Israel from the slavery from Egypt. In Egypt, symbolically, and we don't want to talk about religion here, we want to look at symbolically of what it means. In Egypt, the Jewish people were prisoners. In Egypt, everything belonged to the pharaoh. Even the noble people had to hire their properties from the pharaoh. So there was an illusion of power. All the power were concentrated in the pharaoh's hand, in the hands of the pharaoh. So when the Jewish people move from Egypt to Israel, what happens is they go to, in English we say Israel, what is real, to the land of power towards the land of everything is real. And they have to go through the Red Sea, and the Red Sea opened up when the 72 angels divided the waters. So it talks about a very important time. And two, because this moon happens on the 4th of the 2nd, 2 is the letter Beth in the Hebrew alphabet, and then Beth means the house with open doors. So if you look about 42 as a number altogether, in the Jewish in the Hebrew alphabet is the letter Mem 40 plus the letter Beth 2. So the letter Mem in the Torah means that we need to rise to a new level, to a higher level. And then it talks about the emergence of something completely new. And is also the completion of a way of being, is the entrance, the entrance into another world. You know, it's about being reborn again, being born again. And then 2 is the house with open doors. So altogether they mean a flow of time, because Mem is also the fountain of wisdom, a flow of water, the flow of time and events until the arrival of a time of release, the arrival to the promised land. And so 42 is a number of arrival, and 42 comes from 6 multiplied by 7. So in the ancient tradition, a Hebrew slave was a slave for 6 years, and he was released on the 7th. So again, it's a number of karma, of providence in evolution. If we look at the number 42 is a 6, and then if you look at 2019, 20 plus 1 plus 9 is a 33, so 63. 63 in the game of the goose, we have 63 squares, and then the goose symbolically is the human soul, having to go through 63 steps in order to become a swan on the last one. And the swan is symbolically the karmic liberation. So 63 is the prophet, is the voice of the Lord, is the guide. And so is also related to a passage in the Exodus where God speaks to Moses, and he says, "My angel shall go before thee." So it's a passage to a final state. So we're moving from the old into the new. And also the total addition of the day is 89, so which means to be set free from bondage, to be set free from the old way of being. The same thing happens on the Israeli. We can see the same thing as you look at the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of change and is a sign of a vision. We are in Aquarian age, and we know everything is going to change. Aquarius is not only influencing this moon, but also influencing at this stage the life of the planet. So esoterically, Aquarius is the service of the personality to the soul, is the deep intention to be active on our mission, to fulfill, to be guided by life and to be guided by love. If you look at the Aquarians, a symbol of Aquarius is made of two flows of water. One is life and one is love. So what he is actually asking us is to allow us to be completely taken and moved by the flow of life, by the flow of things, and then embrace with love everything that happens. This watershed, this passage from the old to the new, can only happen if we embrace the past, if we embrace the past as a nurturing, as a compost for the future to be manifested. And this, especially in the astrology, in the astrology chart of this at this point in time, is represented by the conjunction between Pluto and Saturn in Aquarius, in Capricorn. Pluto is about death, is about rebirth, is about transformation. So the old is actually feeding the new, and Saturn is the power structure within we use the power of transformation. Also conjunct to Saturn and Pluto is the South Node. The South Node represents the past, so we are really actually digesting and transforming the past within us so that we can create a completely new energy. In February, at the time of this new moon, the energy is very strong. There is a very strong yang energy for two reasons. First one, all the main planets are going direct. So there is a propulsive and very strong energy of propulsion. And then the other aspect, and we have a lot of planets in the cardinal energy, in cardinal sign. The cardinal signs are the signs at the beginning of each season. So Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. So it's the beginning of the season, so it means they have a very, very strong, active, moving energy that wants to manifest something. This is why also we say that is a very important moon if we want to start projects, to start things. And then is as I said before, is one of the most important moons of the year, because is an energy that whatever we choose, whatever we feel, whatever we decide at this stage is going to push us towards the manifestation of our mission and purpose. So there is a constant activity and mutation. So there is a deep desire within us at this stage, a longing to serve our soul, to serve our mission. If we don't do it, we are going to experience a deep sense of depression and self-depreciation. So we need really to work on and focus on our growth and what we want to achieve and manifest. So the planets that rule Aquarius are actually three: Uranus, Jupiter, and the Moon. And these three signs are actually create a very beautiful configuration in the sky, because we have Uranus, which is here, which is conjunct Aries and Mars. We have Jupiter there, trine. Uranus and Jupiter are trine, and we have two sextiles. Both they create a sextile with the Sun and the Moon conjunct Mercury. So what does this mean? Uranus is the voice of God, is the mind of God, so is asking us to attune to the cosmic order. Is about listening to the inner voice, listening to the voice of the soul. Jupiter is the fusion between the mind and the heart. And remember that the soul speaks through the heart, doesn't speak to the mind. And then the Sabian symbol associated to Jupiter says that there will be an energy, such a strong energy that people will need to focus on the future in order to discover a new way of living. And the moon, the Sabian symbol of the moon at this stage, says that there will be the condition will be created that will transform our instinct and our intellect. So the connection with the heart will transform the way we think, will transform our life. There is a big energy. It's a time to make a fresh start. It's like about turning a page, turning a leaf, and starting a new project, starting a new life. So it's about resetting, pressing the resetting button, and we want to think about a new chapter in our life. So in order to do that, we have to embrace ourselves completely. The sun and the moon, Neptune and Saturn and Pluto will create a beautiful eye aspect pattern. This eye aspect pattern is about having new insight, having an instinctive intuition about motivation and life pattern. So we will see things in a completely new way, and then we will feel that we have all the challenging situations are actually opportunity to trigger the need for a choice. So, and then Neptune will create will support the dissolving of the old illusion, and then it will, because they are, Saturn and Neptune are in a sextile to each other, that will give us a spiritual wisdom to support the manifestation of the dream of the heart, the manifestation of what we truly are and what we want to be. In the Mercury, which is actually conjunct the Sun and the Moon, will help us express the message that we want to express. Just be careful, because the conjunction between Uranus, Aries, and Mars may trigger a lot of anger and assertiveness. But if you center yourself, and then if you really listen to your inner voice, you can really express what you truly feel from your heart and make the decision to leave the past behind and bring a new energy into your life. So we are really, it's a very important time, because it's a time of a big shift, is breaking down the old, and everything that lacks of integrity, everything that doesn't belong to us anymore, and a very strong urge for change. What I would like to say also, because the higher mind is touching the little mind. So what is really deeply happening is a sort of rewiring of our brain. It's about we need to refocus. We really need to listen ourselves. It's a great time for meditation. If you want to really go deep and work deeply at this time, it's very important that you really listen to yourself, meditate, and get in touch with what you really truly want to be and want to manifest. Because it's a time where we need to connect with the higher force, with the life that is within us, and understand that whatever we manifest outside is the reflection of what we have inside. We cannot work on matter anymore as we used to think, but we actually have to tune in, and we will start being guided in order to manifest everything from within. And we will see that it's going to be much easier, and we will be in sync. In our life will be completely synchronic, because we will be attuned to the higher force. So our old beliefs do not serve us anymore. Do not serve our higher mission, and then the only thing that they do is keep us in prison. So the total addition, as I said, of this moon is 18. The day of the moon is 18, which is about freeing yourself from slavery. We never realize that the mind plays with us and doesn't allow us to see things as they are. If you want to know more and work on this inner attunement, the International C.S.T.O School will run 2 courses, meditation and concentration, part 1 and 2, at Archangel Michael's abode on Earth in Apulia. He appeared there 4 times, and there is the place of a very high cosmic energy. So if you want to join us, we will understand how to work with our brain in order to connect to the inner self, to the higher self, and we will go into nature to start feeling and receive messages from nature and be guided also in our life. If you want more information, you can write an email to the school office, and then they will send you all the information. Or you can go on my website, www.cristianacaria.com, or look in this page and see and find all the information. So it's a beautiful time to reflect on our inner life. It's a beautiful time to choose where we want and where we want to be. So rewire your brain and open yourself in order to manifest what you're truly meant to be. So, remember I said in my previous video, I said be aware or reflect, ponder on where you want to be at the end of the year. This moon is a very positive one to connect with and tune with, so that you can manifest with the support of the universe, the Dalet of the 4th, of the 4 of the day, associated to the 4 of the day, and then manifest your own life. So thank you very much for listening. I wish you a lovely weekend and a wonderful new moon in Aquarius. Bye. Ciao. Bye.